All right, let's get started. So Kara, talk to us a little bit about these 5 days, 9 hours that we have left. What can people do to get the most out of that time?
So I think to get the most out of your time, make sure that you are engaging all of your staff, everyone in your office. Everyone should be engaged so they think of this as something that they can work on as a team. We shouldn't just leave it to providers to code for ICD-10 and our coding and billing staff. We also want to make sure our front office staff is involved. One of the things that is important for the front office staff is to make sure that they are up to par on what they need to do. Make sure they're checking eligibility, they're getting everything done from the practice workflow so that as that patient is seen and as the claim goes down the line, everything has been taken care of. It doesn't leave the biller left to do things that should have been done. And they should be verifying coverage, collecting copays. Also, obviously, we want to involve the nursing and support staff and the administrative staff. And one thing to keep in mind, if you haven't thought about it, is if you have people on your staff that get prior authorizations for procedures and to refer out, they likely will need to get authorizations based on that ICD-10 code. So they need to know the codes too, maybe have a cheat sheet. And we'll talk about that a little bit too, the cheat sheets and for your specific practice. Obviously, the providers. The providers most likely now have attended webinars and read lots of information. I recommend that they have a coding app on their mobile device so they can quickly look up codes as they're doing their charting. Don't leave it all to the billing and coding staff. If you're a provider, if you're a nurse, really document, because your billers and your coders are going to need as much information as possible because this is new for them too. And finally, make sure you have spoken with your finance representatives, whether that be your bank, if you have a line of credit available in case you do have a slowdown in funds, and also possibly with your accountant, so your accountant is aware that there may be a slowdown. So all of that goes into creating the workflow. So if you can think about and look at your workflow for your practice for a day, what happens from check-in to check-out to claim submission, you can kind of work with everyone to set up that flow. Stick with the codes and creating worksheets and cheat sheets within your own specialty. Try not to overload your staff, especially your prior authorization team, with codes that may not be, maybe you're a pediatrician, so they don't need codes that would typically be used for geriatrics.